Going on, guys? Want to make this real quick video here for Dennis. He asked a question about one of the trades on alert today. So I'm just going to recap that here for you real quick to kind of give you some insight so you can look into the trade that you took, review it, learn from it and all that good stuff. But hopefully this help out a lot of other people as well too. Um, and so we're going to get into it here real quick, okay? So pretty much your question was about SGOC. Um, and let me get it pulled up here. So I got it pulled up here. And your question was you had gotten to the trade at $12 when you saw the dip in the MACD turn negative and you sold it at 14 and took some profit. And you think that it was a lot more room, which it was, for you to get some more profit. How were you supposed to know that, you probably should have stayed in the trade? There's a few indicators there that you could have looked at. Um, to be able to kind of help determine that. But I'm gonna just kind of touch on it. I know hindsight is 2020. Being able to do all this in real time, when I explain it like in the course and everything like that, is a lot of different things you're putting together as you're in the trade. Um, Main point is, like I was saying in the post in the Facebook group, is that there's no way to fully 100% tell that something is going to happen with the stock. The point is to have all the indicators and your strategy and your risk management in place so that the odds are in your favor. Like you were saying, if you take so many trades and you have more losing trades than winning trades, it's defeating the purpose. Which you're right. Now the thing is that with trading, you want to have a trading strategy that you've tested countless times in different conditions, that where the strategy and the rules you have set in place is to where you have a winning percentage. So more often, even if you're losing trades, more than you're gaining trades, your winning percentage is more better on your winning trades than it is on your losing trades. Now, um, we're gonna go into this trade here real quick. I'll analyze it for you to kind of help you get some indicators and things like that to see what you're looking at, to help practice going forward. But it's a lot of things. It's not really just one particular thing that can help you out with determining that. And again, risk management is key. It's good that you profited on that trade. I mean, green is better than red. Obviously, you don't want to be greedy. The purpose of this is too is to be able to take the meat of the move. I mean, even though you feel like you probably didn't get the meat of the move, you still got a good bite, which is a lot to say about trading, especially in the beginning. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that you could look at and see that kind of indicates that, hey, this stock might be worth staying in the trade to probably see if there's going to be a little bit more to gain here. Okay, and I'll kind of go through that with you. So we'll review it and then we'll go through it in real time so you kind of get an idea of how to look at, of like what it will look like. And then I'll just recap it again. Hopefully this will be a really quick trade for you because I'm watching the finals right now. I didn't plan on making a video, but that was a good question, so I figured I'd answer it for you. Let me do this here real quick. So pretty much, let's kind of go off of, and you wanted to compare this to another trade you took, and I'll review that one with you too to show you the differences between the two. So I'll pretty much try to answer all your questions in this video. But you were talking about SGOC, so you pretty much was kind of saying how the alert went through at like 11:27, which is a little bit before the bell. Well, actually, that was like early, you know, pre-market that this thing was kind of go off. So the alerts went off, obviously showing that it was going to run. You probably got in right here. Well, you said you got in like after the bell, which is a little bit around 10, I think you said, a little bit before 10 a.m. So yeah, right here, you said you had got in. So it's a few things you want to look at right here. Obviously, let's kind of recap what happened. You entered in at $12, you said, which was probably in this area right here. You said, you saw the MACD turn, you know, red, and you wanted to buy it in on the dip, which is good. You nailed it. Good entry point. And then it started to rise up, and you said you took profits at 12. One thing you should notice here as well too, that obviously the stock was halted for probably a 5-minute circuit breaker. The way it kind of shot up, especially in the opening bell, which happens quite often, and you've seen in the alerts, especially when stocks get a lot of traction momentum, it's gonna be halted. So one key thing you want to keep in mind is that it was halted. And by then, like I tell you guys all the time in the chat room, you should be looking at level 2 price action to kind of determine if you're going to stay in the trade or not, which is one thing you probably should be looking at while you're trading that as well too. But not only that, but notice, like you said, as the moving averages is there in the RSI showing that it's overextended, you know, and you said you took profits at $14, but you still have more indication. You're wondering how would you know that to stay in there? Well, it hasn't turned yet. If anything, you did the right thing and took your profit. You didn't have to take all of it, maybe, but at this point here, usually I start to consider watching it more because I'm afraid of the turn down. Um, the way that you probably could have noticed is one, I mean, I tell you guys all this time to kind of look at the chart patterns and things like that, especially after this change. There's no kind of indication that this thing was going to dip at this point. Um, you don't really have no consistent red candles, even as the moving average, the MACD was changing. You had no consistent show that there was going to be a lot of selling pressure. I don't know if you looked at level two or not, but you should have been looking at that as well while you're in that trade. That kind of helps give you an indicator. Because remember, when you're looking at the chart patterns and the indicators and things like that, those are lagging indicators. They're not leading indicators. So they tell you what's happened already. It's not going to tell you what's looking like it's about to happen. That's what price action and stuff like that is for in level two, which is important when you're day trading. Not too much emphasis on it, but it helps determine that. So pretty much, looking at this right here, there's depending on your strategy. Again, I don't know what trading strategy you use. I don't know why you kind of got in and got out. Again, it depends on what you've tested and what you've tried and proven. In my instance, I wouldn't have got out here yet because there was no reason to get out. One, it didn't cross over the VWAP, so there was no reason for it to, be bearish. To me, that's one, that's a bullish indicator. Two, if you understand the candlesticks, which the book is in the Facebook group. It's there for you guys to kind of study candlesticks, and it's also in all those books I recommend for you. You should know that as well too. All these, even the red candles are indicating that there's a lot of bullish things going on here because there's a lot of wicks in the red candles that are indicating buying pressure is going up. I mean, even here was the closest thing to getting, and I think in your picture you said, how are you supposed to know that this was going to happen here? Look at you got this big green indicator on a red MACD. I mean, that's a pretty good sign that price action is going to start going up because not only that candlestick is telling you that, but you can tell here that the that moving average is going up. So there's no EMA crossing the VWAP. There's no trend change indicating that there. The closest thing that you can have that's probably telling you that it might be a little overextended is the RSI down here. But even then, it's not like super overextended enough to where you like, oh man, I need to go ahead and take my profits. It's just barely crossing 70. So all these things are bullish indicating, uh, you know, things to look for. Um, there's really no sell signals here, but as you are studying and learning about the things that I tell you guys, I'm not sure if you have the course either, but if you look at the things that I talk about in there, once you start to understand what these indicators and patterns and price action and stuff like that is telling you, you'll know and feel more comfortable of whether or not you need to go ahead and take your profits or let it ride. Um, I don't know if I profited on this trade or not today. I can't remember, but anyways, yeah. So a few things here are telling you to kind of stay in this trade. The price action is thinning out. Crossed it hasn't crossed the volume weighted average price, the VWAP. Excuse me. Um, RSI isn't overextended. There's really no reason to kind of get out. You can kind of still let that ride, and you want to draw your trend line to still in the uptrend. You know, up and up and up. Um, but that hopefully kind of answers that question for you at that point. But again, I mean, you did a good trade. You got your profits. You can't be mad at that at the end of the day. It's just something to practice. But mainly, it's going to depend. Really, it's going to depend on your trading strategy and what you've tested and tried, because ultimately that's going to make the decision of you sticking to your rules and keeping your profits and things like that, or maximizing your profits. I know other traders that might scale in and scale out of the trade like this. It depends on you. I mean, again, there's no full solid percent 100% indicator because everybody trades different and not all indicators are 100%. But you know you want to make sure that the odds are in your favor based on your trading strategy and based on what you know and what you can see when it comes to trading. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question for you. Let me try to see here if there was any other things that you might have had asked. Blah, 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 blah. I know a few other members probably gave their input as well too. So hopefully that helped out as well too. But yeah, I mean, average wise, if you go look at, I'm not sure if you're in the chat room as well too, because admins don't give me access to that. But if you're in the chat room, if you go in the learning lounge, look at some of those videos and you can read the books obviously whenever you want, but there's a video that kind of talks about averages and winning averages. Um, it's not many videos in a video library, so you can probably find it in there. But take a look at that because I know you were saying like if you're 50-50, I mean 50-50 with trading is a losing percentage. You want to make sure your strategy is better than that. If you're up three and down six, that's not going to benefit you. So even if you get more winners than if your percentage gains would have to be significant for you to be able to defeat that. Um, so take a look at those videos and kind of look at what it talks about strategies and winning averages. That might help you out as well too, getting the numbers right. But yeah, um, practice, man. I mean, that's all I can kind of tell you. There really isn't no main indicator, but again, it's not so much as an indicator to stay in. I think was your problem. I think more of an indicator of to leave and bail and take profits. It really, I mean, depending on your strategy, that would depend on whether it was worth it or not. But yeah, man, like I said, be happy that you got that gain. That's a good trade that you made, good entry point. Um, Green is green, man. Okay, so hopefully this helps. If you have any other questions, just if you're in the chat room and alerts, just message me directly, or message me on Facebook or whatever. We'll talk about it. All right, take care. Oh yeah, just real quick, I wanted to kind of jump back on here and go over the other part of your question. You had asked, as compared to the other trades like SGOC versus TAIT or CTIB, EARS, XELA. Some of the other ones looks like you traded probably wasn't really on the alerts except for like maybe like one or two. But I'm gonna go through those comparisons for you real quick so you can kind of see the distinct difference between you trading that one and you trading the other ones because it's a very clear indication of whether or not you should have traded those or not that I kind of talked about in the last video actually just the other day I had made for you guys of how I pick and choose which alerts I decide to trade. So this should probably help you out too. Okay, so let's take a look at the one you did. All right, sorry, SCOG. Typed it wrong. Sorry, I'm trying to do this and like I said, still watch the game, but let me pull this up here. So let's take a look at this chart. It loads up here. Sorry, everything is running all slow. This is exactly why I don't live stream when I'm trading. All right. Yeah, because if I have issues like that while I'm trading, I'm gonna be really mad. But so this is look at your chart here with SGOC versus like you said TIT. I'm not sure which one of the ones you traded were winners and which ones were losers, but we're gonna look at all of them here real quick. It's a big distinct difference between the two charts. And I'm gonna pull them all up and I'm gonna go back to them and let's see if you can kind of figure it out. But here's TAIT um, chart. Okay, let me actually zoom in. That's that. The other one was pull this up here. CTIB. So this is CTIB for the day. That one's a clear, you know, bearish one. Hopefully you didn't try to long that. And this ears. This was ears for today. And this is a thing that a lot of you guys should be doing as well too. It's just kind of reviewing your trades every day. See where you can improve. It's the key thing of becoming a better trader. Here's XELA. Here's pre-market, and here the opening bell. So that's nothing like how SGOC was. I mean, right out the gate, that thing plummeted. And then let's take a look at the other ones. AXAS. I think that might have been just a trading on accord. I don't think that one was alerted in the alerts. But look at that one. This is from the 14th to pretty much the end of the day. That's that one. So, and the last one was LCPN. LPCN, my bad. That's after hours. This is pretty much it throughout the day. From here to here. Okay. So, what is the biggest difference you notice between this chart and SGOC? If it hasn't really stood out to you by now, it's price action. It's candlesticks. There's those other trades you were looking at or either took. There was nothing there. Um, there was no movement. There was no volume. And by that I mean, I don't know if it's clarified, but by that I mean price action with like candlesticks, and you're seeing movement in the price. The one that had closest to anything was XCLA. But even then, depending on where you might have entered in, if you was trying to play this out the gate at the same time, obviously that one's clearly a bearish indicators. I mean, out the gate, that's kind of easy to determine there. But I think you say as compared to TAIT at the same time that you had traded. Let's look at that one in more detail so you can kind of get a better sense. See, you can zoom in. There's no price action here. Of course, the alert might have went off for it, but it may have went off just because the price jumped up. It's your job as a trader to see if that thing is worth trading, and you do that by determining if there's price action, is there volume, is there movement there in that stock. And clearly, there's nothing here. Even if you wait 5 minutes and there's nothing forming, there's no price action. The spread was probably huge, and there was no orders getting executed. It's a lot of different things, but mostly you want to make sure there's volume there, because if there's no volume there in the stock that you're trading, how are you going to trade it? Okay. So that's how. And if you want a little bit more detail, look at the video I have posted about how I choose which alerts that I trade. That's just one of the things that I look for when it comes to trading. You got to have price action there. So once you kind of see that there's price action there, there's movement, traders are looking at this. You want to also be able to look at what it's telling you. You do that by the chart patterns and things like that that you know. So hopefully that kind of helps out with that other question that you had, as far as picking and choosing which stock you wanted to trade and which one might be best to trade, because there is a way to determine that, and that's going to be based on what you're seeing once you get alerted to look at that stock. Okay, remember the alerts just kind of tell you what to do. They tell you where to go. They don't tell you what to do. You got to be able to determine that. Not all of them are going to be ones that you want to trade based on your trading strategy, how it works for you. Other traders might know how to trade it. Okay. So hopefully that's a good answer for you there, buddy. All right. You guys stay green.